Welcome back to Doomstone. The last few episodes on the channel have been pre-recorded while I was gone on Christmas. This is the first episode without that pre-recorded content, which means that there's quite a bit of a gap from my perspective between this episode and the last, which has led to a lot of comments on YouTube and on Discord, as well as changes I've been thinking about making. So we're going to have some new mods coming in. What I'm doing right now, I just got back to town, so before the stream, so I haven't had enough time to test out a bunch of mods. What I've gone for right now is I've added only combat readiness check. We've got about 8 or so other mods I'm going to look at adding. We'll probably just stagger them out over the next few streams, add 2 or 3 a stream, just to make sure we don't, cause some crashes. And if we do cause crashes, we can identify which mod is causing issues better. But I thought combat readiness check, I thought combat readiness check had a really good spot in this mod pack. So everybody should add this. We're building a sprawling town with a lot of buildings and a lot of stuff that doesn't contribute to our defenses. And so having it more centered on what the colonists themselves can actually stand up to probably makes some sense here. We're not going to build like a kill box or anything. We might build some forts in the future, but yeah, we're not leaning into a base game kind of defensive metagame. We're going our own way. So we've got to kind of accommodate that with combat readiness check and whatnot. So yeah, I think at some point we might build a fort here on the north end of the river. We get a lot of raids that come in up here and over here, and a lot of action happens along this riverfront. So I think if we put a fort over here at some point, that would do pretty well for defenses without us going full on kill box. Just kind of a nice cover point for us to rally to for defense. It would probably be better suited to be on this side of the river, honestly, but I've already laid out this estate here. With this fertile terrain, and I kind of want to take use of that. We could consider maybe building a fort right next to it, like in this spot. We could remove these rocks over here. That way we've got a good firing arc. We'll think about it. Let's see, what else? Days Matter. We added this mod last stream, which is weeks ago at this point, I think. I forgot to look at it. So we'll take a quick look at that. We've got settlement, chronological birthdays, and relationship anniversaries, marriage anniversaries, as things we can celebrate. So I think we should have, this turned on. Why don't we do... We'll give them an all-day celebration for the anniversary of the founding of the town. Birthdays, they can have a little afternoon thing or something here. Relationships... We can do an evening thing for the anniversaries and whatnot. I think we'll do that. Add a little more flavored things there. Next, more mod setting stuff. So we have some problems with the children. Where's the school mod? Down here? Yes. So children's school and learning. So the problems we have right now is all of our kids are, one, very tiny, as you can see up here. They start out as just little specks crawling around. And apparently that's because we have two mods that are resizing the children right now. That's what the YouTube comments point out, which makes sense. That would explain why they're really tiny. So we should be able to change that here somewhere. We should also be able to make it so that we stop having the issue where the only passions they get are crafting and intellectual. So, why don't I pause here while I look through all these options? Okay, here's the settings we're looking for. Young can't work. This setting apparently controls the issue with the passions. Since they have those work types disabled, I'm assuming that's why they only get passions and the 2 work types that aren't disabled. Makes sense why that would happen. So we'll fix that. But then the other one here is scaling. So we'll disable scaling on the school mod here. What is this one called again? It's children school and learning. So we'll disable that on that as well. Those both require a reload, so we won't see the effects of that immediately. Although the babies do look rather much larger now, don't they? It said it needed a reload. Well, maybe the scaling didn't need a reload. The children passions do, it said, though. Or the traits. So we'll check that in a second. Next on the agenda, I want to change the aging scaling. So the way right now our characters, our main ones, are in their 40s, like 40 to 45 or something like that, depending on which one. And I think that's a little bit older than I'd like him to be for the stage the town is at. Oops. What was the age? Age matters. That's the one that does, yeah. Penalties for aging. That's not the accelerated aging one, though, right? Faster aging is what it's called, isn't it? I think it's down here in the bottom part. Let's shrink down this one. Faster aging. There we go. So right now, human-like before threshold age rate multiplier is 5. 5. Animal before threshold, animal after 8. Why are these different? I must have had these set to 8 at one point and switched them to 5, maybe during testing. And I never changed the animals. So the animals right now are growing faster than the humans are. Interesting. Let's put this on 3, I think, across the board for now. And we'll go from there. Strange. I wonder why those were separate. Well, whatever. Obviously, it's something I did that I shouldn't have. Yeah, so that should be basically the main changes we need to make. Now we need to get the kids set up so that they're not just... that their passions aren't just all the same, crafting and intellectual for the second generation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook up a little randomization scheme here based upon the parents' passions, and we'll give them passions that match those. So I'm going to pause here while I figure that out. Actually, I'm going to pause here as well, and I'm going to just reboot the game too. Maybe this will actually... yeah, we'll let... yeah, because right now we can't actually have these kids do anything, so we need to reboot the game first. Okay, so those settings are good to go. The babies here now have all work types available. This obviously hasn't changed their existing passions, so if you do that manually. I don't think we're going to change their skills. Maybe we'll change their skills a little bit. Yeah, okay. Why don't we change their skills a little bit? The kids start out... looks like they start out with basically like 6 to 5-ish. Paul's probably been doing some other stuff. 1 and 3, 1 and 1. Maybe it's carried over from the parents? Yeah, you guys are rubbish at those traits, so your kids are rubbish at those traits. Okay. Why don't we do the passions first, then we'll do a pass back through for skills. I'll think about that a little bit after we get the passions figured out. So what we're going to do for the passions here is we're just going to pop into character editor, and we're going to edit them manually. As if they had been born not boring. So what we're going to do is any passions that overlap in the two parents carry over to the kids automatically. So the entire Westwood family then gets double passion in crafting and a single passion social, because both parents are double passions in crafting and both parents are single passions in social. So we'll do that. Whoops. After that, and we're talking about 5 to 6 passions, which is pretty typical for the family lines at least. After that, we'll roll. We'll give everybody a random passion to introduce a little bit of variety into the groups here. So our first roll is an 8. So that's crafting against. That one's going to be just a wash. If we roll the same passion, it's just wasted. I think that's a fair balancing factor there. So her random is nothing. And then we're going to do a random out of the family line. So basically what the family line traits are the traits that either parent have passions in. So for this family line, it's animals, crafting, social, medical, and intellectual. So 5 options available. I got a real dice I can roll if I can reach it. Oh, there it is. Oh, man. Trait number 4 is a point in medical. Oops. So she gets a passion in medical for the family trait bonuses. And then I'm going to give out an additional passion to anybody who has a trait that has a particular focus. So academician is intellectual and medical. So we'll give her a point of intellectual to balance that out as well. So that's her passions. Next, we can go to little Colin. Colin, let's get rid of or change your existing ones here first. So you get crafting and social. And then we'll do the true random first. He gets a 9, which is art. Little Colin's got a little bit of art in his blood here. Oh, and the lightning mages here, they have penalties to mining. They mining speed -40, but yield -20. Well, I guess it's not. Wait, is speed good or bad in this context? Is it -40% to the time taken, or is it -40% to the rate at which they mine? That's not clear to me. The yield is bad though, for sure. So we might just say that lightning mages can't have passions in mining. We'll probably do that for other ones. Anybody who gets a penalty to a skill can't have a passion in it, we'll say. But yeah, so he got artistic from his random, and then from his family line, he gets crafting, which is a wash. And then he's got tycoon, which is social and crafting, so he can get a second passion in social here. All right. A mountain lover is just likes being near a mountain. Sure. Paul. Can I just click on Paul up here? Oh, I can. Okay, great. Paul. Crafting. 1 point on social. True random roll for Paul is going to be an 11. That is another passion in social. Family line passion is going to be also social, so that's going to be a waste. And then you don't have any traits that support... Well, you could argue that dog person supports animals. I think it should. You get a passion in animals then. All right. There's Paul. Margarita. Quick sleeper, lightning mage, and couch potato. Okay. Oops, let's fix this first. No intellectual by default. Social. Did I remove intellectual from Paul? Yes. Okay. So 2 crafting, 1 social. Let's get rid of that. Let's roll a dice. You get a passion in medical. Family line, you get a passion in crafting, which is a wash. You have no traits that support anything else, so you're only going to have 4 passions. You're a mediocre baby. All right. Then we got Yefim, dunce, couch potato, squeamish. Terrible child, just awful. Double passion there, single passion there for the family. Random trait is going to be a trait 8, or I mean not trait, but skill 8. Is that crafting? Oof, bad luck. Awful baby is awful. Then that's social. And then, yeah, nothing for their family line. So they're just double crafting, double social. Okay, so that's that family done. So we came out of this with crafting, medical, social, intellectual, crafting, art, social, animals, crafting, social, crafting, medical, social, and then crafting, social. Okay, which makes sense given the parents' proclivities for crafting and social. Great. So, Bills and Margaret. We're looking at shooting, 3 passions worth. So that's going to be basically, call it 1.5 for their base. So I guess I'll roll for like a chance at extra passion shooting. Melee, same. I guess, yeah, it kind of depends how much overlap there is, huh? We got mining passion. So mining, construction, animals, social. Weird family line here a little bit, not gonna lie. Yeah, so, oops, wait, did I click on Sam? Oh, I clicked on Sam, whoops. Okay, shooting melee, construction, plants, mining. So 2 passions mining, 2 passions plants, 1 passion construction. All right, so why don't we did 3 base passions on the other ones. I think we'll do 2 base on these kids. So what we'll do is their base traits will be shooting and melee. And then we can do... How about a randomization between the 2 of them? Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, so you get double shooting, single melee. And then you get truly random trait. Your random trait is 5. You get cooking passion. Family traits. So the way I'm going to do it with the family traits is we're going to be, if it's a double passion, it's doubly weighted. So basically it's a 1 in 5 roll for a passion here that's mining twice, plants twice, or construction once. So plants and mining are weighted over construction, if that makes sense. And I guess we'll include shooting or melee as well as a 6. So it's going to be whichever shooting or melee they don't have a passion in, and then mining twice, plants twice, or construction on a d6. Okay, so you get construction. And then, yeah, you have eccentric, research speed, dog person, and nervous. I guess we'll go research because of eccentric. Dog person doesn't explicitly mean they have to work with animals. Yeah, so you get 6 passions there like that. And then other baby, Kaori. Oops. So yeah, shooting, melee, randomization on shooting melee. They pick shooting as well. They get a truly random passion. Number 5. Also cooking at random. Terrible. Terrible, random, weird. Alright, that's fine. And then the family trait. That is going to be mining. And then their traits, or the family passion. Their traits, jogger, nervous, workaholic. None of these support any particular skill, so they don't get any bonus points for those. Okay, so that's what Kaori is going to end up looking like. So shooting, melee, mining, and cooking. Kazuki, shooting, melee, construction, cooking, intellectual. Alright. Building off of their parents' tendencies towards combat. Great, so that'll work well there. I'm going to go ahead and pause here while I set up their work priorities. All right, to give the children some bonus points here, that way they're not all starting at zeros, to keep it a little bit more in line with the actual trait points they gain, like crafting intellectual when they start out. We're going to I cooked up a scheme, basically, based on their parents' traits to give them some points here. So what I did is I took the maximum and minimum value. Let me rephrase this. Let's restart this. I took the trait values of both parents, used the low trait or low skill between the two parents as the minimum value, and the high skill between the two parents as the maximum value, and then I cut those values in half, and that is the range. So if we look at Roland, what I mean here is he's got 9 shooting, Erie has 10, so the range is 9 to 10, cut in half to 4.5 to 5, and then I'm rounding down on the low end and up on the high end, so this is 4 to 5 shooting points, basically. And then melee here is 2 and 3, so this becomes 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 0 to 2, and so on and so forth. So we're going to use that as the randomization scheme. Rather than roll each of these, I'm just going to pick 6 traits for the kids to have maximum on, and the other ones to have minimum on, because I think that'll be a little bit quicker. Maybe a little bit... I could just roll it, actually. Why don't I roll it? Rather than roll the number, I can roll which ones get maximum, which ones get minimum. I'm going to do that. Pausing. Okay, yeah, I figured out what I want to do here. So what I've done is I've rolled basically for 4 stats to get maximum. Everything else gets minimum. Because they already have crafting and intellectual points, we're not going to touch those, so we don't know how many points they gained since they were born in those skills. So whatever points they were assigned with crafting and intellectual, those ones are going to basically be a max for every child, unfortunately. That's the penalty we pay, basically, for this. So I rolled for Poppy here. We rolled 1, 2, 3, and 7. So shooting, melee, construction, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Animals get max for her. So she gets 5 points in shooting, making her already an incredible crack shot. 2 points in melee, because that's the family max. Construction family max is 4. Mining's minimum, which is 0. Cooking is minimum, which is 0. Plants minimum, which is 0. Animals goes to max, which is 7, putting her at a 9 on animal duty. Crafting's already done. Art goes to a minimum of 1. Medical goes to a minimum of 1. So she goes up to a 3. Wait, which one did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, animals was the one. Social goes to a minimum also of 4. And then intellectual is already good to go. So that's how I'm going to do it for everyone. I'm not going to do each of these manually in this video. I just wanted to show one example here, and then I'll show the results when I've done all the other kids. All right, we've been through a lot of logistic stuff this episode, but we're finally done with the changes here. So these are what their final skill sets look like. We got a lot of rolls for high-end shooting on this family randomly, and then the other family rolled low, but the low value here on shooting is a base 5, whereas the max value for this family is a 5 on shooting. These guys have been going to school and getting trained in shooting, which is why their shooting is so high right now. She's also a quick learner, which is why she's really high. She was already at a 10 before I gave her the bonus points. But yeah, so this is Poppy. We already saw Poppy. I forgot we did that live. It's been a hot minute since the recording was unpaused. This is what Colin has. This is what Paul has. I've opted to put Paul on medical duty, even though he doesn't have passionate, because he started out with base 6. He rolled high on that trait. Margarita and Yefim continues to be terrible. And then over here we got Kazuki, mediocre skill spread to start with, and Kaori, pretty mediocre as well, although she did roll high on plants, thanks to her father's proclivity for plants. She inherited her plant skill from her father, not her mother's mediocre plant skill. So I put her on plants duty as well when she grows up. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these guys are going to have to be trained up in their passions, which is fine. That makes sense. You know, you got to do the thing you love to get good at it, right? And your natural talents may not align with what you want to do. So that should be it for everything we got to do here. So we'll let them start running around finally 20 minutes into this episode. I apologize if that was a little bit more behind-the-scenes setup stuff than you might have wanted to see this late in the series, but I felt like it had to be included to explain a lot of the changes that were going to happen to these characters here, these children. So yeah. Another thing I would like to do soon is to maybe get some places for the animals to live. It'd be nice if we had bonded animals, if those animals actually lived where their masters did. Yeah, so we got like Phantom is bonded with Sam. It looks like that's the only one that's bonded, though. Which is why I was putting this actual animal bed here, wasn't it? I actually was already planning to do that. All right, cool. We could also maybe try to get these animal corpses out of here. Why don't I do that? I'm going to pause while Where are we dragging these chicks? Are we still hauling animals over from over here? Where did all those chicks come from, Roland? I'm not gonna question it too much. We've tamed a Gigantoraptor. Let's see what this thing can do. The Husky was being ridden, so I've removed the Husky as a rideable option here, rather than going into the actual mod settings and removing it. Just for now. If we have issues with some other animals that come up, we'll look at it again. But so far, like, the sheep can't be mounted. It's just the Husky that looks like it's behaving weird. I mean, it's a fairly big dog, but, like, it's not as big as I could see a dog being. Okay, we got a lot of Gigantoraptors coming in here. So, these guys go in the pen and they don't do shit. Alright, I guess we'll use them for more meat breeding. Speaking of meat breeding, do we need to kill something? Dreamt about being nude. Okay. Magic use mages collective. Oh, the number of mages enriches. Nice. I didn't notice that we got that. That's cool. Alright, we don't need to slaughter anything yet, so I guess for now we'll just have just a crazy mess of animals in here. That seems fine. The absolute crazy mess for sure, though. Look at this mess of chickens, especially. Still, it's a lot of meat we have access to. Poppy hiding in room because of teenager. Oh my god, seriously? Dreamt about pizza? Oh, it's just a straight up mental break that happens when they're a teenager, I guess. It's not even like a debuff that's teenager or something. It's just a trigger, I guess. Alright, Poppy, you sulky little kid. You can go, that's fine. Whatever. Okay, so things are coming along here pretty nice. We're getting this homestead set up. They just need to get around to deconstructing it mostly, and it's ready to go. Harvest Festival expected. Yes. This is the... I guess it just... Yeah, this is the just regular, not special one. This one doesn't require wood. Let's just do that then. Everybody can go join the tumbleweeds, apparently, in our church. Hey, nice job cleaning the place beforehand. That's pretty good. Did you ride that Gigantoraptor over here? Yeah, you did. Oops. Well, let's make sure they're not going to get ridden in the future. I just don't want them to ride the animals that they got to put back in the pen because it becomes a whole thing with them getting stuck in buildings all the time. I was hoping that maybe they'd be unforgettable. 20 goodwill with the Mixoboa Union. Minus 82 to minus 62. Well, they still are not a fan of us. Ooh, we got a lot of heat stroke kicking in here. Just initial, so hopefully it's fine. Oh yeah, so now the slaughtering is happening over here for a little bit more efficiency. Oh, maybe we just killed a camel, which is why we don't need to do a slaughter. I might have done that at the end of the last stream, or the last episode. Alright, so we've got this basically done when we get around to it. I can just force them to finish it up. We do have enough wood for another construction project, too. We've got the outhouses ready. So we should plan out what we want to do next. We could put in a fort over here as a defensive structure, but we do need another house. Tiny child, go home. We need a house for not just James, but we have a prisoner still. Let's see. Let's go to the prisoner. Camel. Camel, resistance 0, will 4. So he's in the process of being recruited right now. Camel's plants 10. Steadfast and abrasive. What is... We have Flint in here right now. Flint is also plants 10. Okay, so this is a secondary farm to take advantage of this fertile soil. Flint also should have a farm to tend with fertile soil. We could give him this little plot of land. This is the other big patch we've given to the animals. There's also this central patch here, but this is kind of going to be like the main street, I think, where we're going to put in a lot more of the... lot more like the businesses and the central town buildings. I want to get a tailoring shop and like a machine shop, a hospital, all that kind of stuff in there. So we're not going to use that for farmland. I think we'll give them a small little farm thing down here. So why don't I plan that out right now? All right, got the blueprints in. This is the plan for this secondary little farm down here. Kind of a unique little layout with the rooms. Try to make everything a little less square going forward. Now that we have a little bit more time and resources, we can be a little bit more creative on this stuff. Starvation, heat stroke. Why do we have multiple starvations? There is jerky. Are you guys just not eating? Call in. Hauling ahead to stockpile. Yeah, this meal's right there. There's jerky. I mean, you should be doing something. New recruit camel. Okay, there's camel. You're opting to smoke jerky. Why are you smoking jerky right now over anything else? Oh, I bet you we don't have enough meat. Yeah, we don't have the meat for 5 meals. We have the meat for jerky. Okay, so that's why she's doing that. But we're butchering stuff down here right now, so that should be fine. This animals actually... Well, animals are going to rot. That is going to be a thing that happens, unfortunately. Because the amount of chickens we breed is just too much. We could toss in a second butchering table, though. That's definitely something we could do. All right. I've set the grow zones here to not resow. We're going to reorganize the grow zones. We're going to have each of the little farms growing different crops. That's how we're going to handle multiple farms. Let's get camel ready here. So, camel, you are plants, and that's about it. Plants and some shooting. I think for the time being, we'll just put you straight on plants. Well, you know what? You can hunt. Sure. Everybody gets repair, deconstruct, high priority plants. 3-3. This should be a 4. 3-2-2. You can fish. All right. We've got to get a weapon for you, Camel. So, what do we got? DPS with accuracy. Double-barreled shotgun, lever action. I've already got a lever action and a double barrel in rotation. We got the repeating shotgun. What is your deal? An ornate, surprisingly portable shotgun to be fired one-handed from a mounted position. I'd say a mare's leg or whatever. Occasionally incredibly lucky shots. It doesn't have any special things other than the lucky shots, if that actually is a mechanic. Doesn't really stand out to me that much, but we've already got volcanic pistols. We got a lot of pistols in use already. Yeah, why don't we give you the repeating shotgun? And you can forget that. And default to ranged, please. Okay, harvesting heal root, sure. Alright, Camel's gonna need a bedroom. We are getting there. Nobody's deconstructing up here and finishing this up. We should probably try and finish it. I was thinking we'd turn Jaime into a hermit. We'd find a good spot on the fringe of town for him to live. Maybe over here? And he can be like an outsider. Because he is not just ascetic, he's also like annoying voice. He's got some good social relationships, so he's not like an outcast in the town. He's just an outsider, you know? He's one of those people who just doesn't fit in, right? I'll think about where we're going to set him up. We've renamed Red. His name here is Red Harkin. Oops. Generated at random. Well, generated at random off my names list for names that fit the colony theme here. We had to put jerky back on the menu because colonists were starving. You're just going to head all the way over there to eat that. Colonists were, in fact, starving. We are not getting meals done fast enough. Where is our chef? It should be Marguerite, right? It's also awkward having Marguerite and Margarita, but that's how the kids work. Cannot cook, find strange meal, need material. Chicken meat 3. Nobody's doing the butchering right now. Somebody should do butchering. Like, it's a high work priority on a lot of people. Food poisoning from milk, sure, that's just kind of unavoidable. Let's put Bills back on butchering. Just to have another person to do it. What were you up here? Oh yeah, I did flag a... Did I flag? Yeah, I flagged a component to mine. Erie has magic points available. Lightning Cloud, sure. Baby's just sleeping in the street. Alright, great. We're doing butchering, so we should get meat hauled, yes. And then Margaret should fall through to cooking. So what we need to do is make sure we're keeping the meat coming in. That's the problem right now, is the meat's not getting into the stockpile, and then she isn't able to cook. We want excess meat, so that way we can turn some into jerky, too, for the long-term food storage. So we need a constructor. We need to get that second butcher table going, I think. Especially if they, like, reserve it from far away. Sam, can I get you to go... Oh, it's actually built. Wow, I'm, kind of terrible, huh? Paste that bill. Great. Now 2 people should be doing butchering. Great, great. Okay. So that should take care of those needs. Tiny Kazuki, I really wish you would put clothing on, but I don't know why you refuse to. You're 4 years old. I moved the clothing to the baby, and now they're just running around naked. It's a 4-year-old running around naked in the colony, whatever. Not much we could do about it if they don't want to put clothes on. I mean, I could force clothes on or try to, but I want to figure out when they actually put adult clothes on. Which is why we're just going to keep an eye on them, see what happens. We're getting some crops in here, and then we can replant everything. That'll be pretty good then. She's done it again. She's having another friggin' kid. I can't believe this woman. To be fair, this is probably pretty accurate for the era, but like, she's had 7 pregnancies prior to this one, I think. 2 stillbirths. From starvation, I think, both times. Turns out one of the kids and one of the colonists share the same birthday. So they both have a birthday party on the 11th of September. I guess we will never forget 9/11. Emma. So yeah, the party might have bugged out because there was 2, or are they on their way right now? One of them was definitely canceled. Yeah, I think the party just kind of bugged out on us there. Oh well. The babies keep coming and they don't stop coming because their husbands don't stop coming in the ladies, I guess. Yup, Margaret is pregnant again. That'll be her 3rd kid. Looks like meat's back on the menu. Insect meat, that is. Black Hive is attacking. A couple of mammoth worms. Might not be too bad if the mages can be useful here. They're way down here. Well, let's grab everybody except for tiniest babies. Maybe not the naked kids. Maybe they can just hold back as well, too. Let's try and meet them maybe like right over here or something, I think. Might be a good spot. What direction are they coming? Yeah, they're going to come like right over by this, this area. Quest available the Arconexus. I don't fucking think so. You can get off of the raptor. You can, in fact... You know what? Yeah, why don't you get in the front with your weapon there? Somebody... No, I think we're just taking shots at them now. Okay, mages. What do we got? All right, first off, yeah, hold the animals back for now. Combat command, I don't think we necessarily need it. We have a lightning cloud from Colin we could drop. Maybe just right here on the edge would be a really good spot. Okay, colonist use treatment. Colin. Oh, do the spellipedes, the black spellipedes, they do range damage, don't they? Yeah, okay, there you go. You killed it before it killed the animals without shooting the animals, which is really good. I had to make sure you did that, though, because otherwise you'd have been a little shit. All right, let's advance. No longer inspired. All right, mammoth worms inbound. Actually, yeah, maybe we should... Yeah, that seems fine. Yep, that seems fine. Yep, that's pretty good. Alright, thanks for coming, everybody. You guys are free to go. We'll just wait. Did I hear the sounds of something else still happening? Emma, you're just watching the sunset? Fine. Or is that just the sound of the storm petering out? I think that was just the storm. Okay, I think we're good. One of them might have ran... There's always a possibility of one of them running a different direction. Let's get this mammoth worm hauled ASAP. Look change desired. Don't care about that. Don't care about you. Don't care about you. Colonies treatment. You'll be fine. You're already missing an arm anyway. Oh yeah, Colin's missing an arm. Do we take him off of crafting, you think? I think we take him off of crafting. Because he's got no arm. He can do wardening just fine with one arm, but we'll keep him off of crafting. Because we got too many crafters anyway, so there's no point in training up somebody with one arm. Oh, he's on... I think he's still on intellectual from before. So he shouldn't be on that either. So he'll just do social, and I think that's fine. It'll allow him to work on Tycoon better that way, too. That must be one of the other animals that makes that chittering sound, because I thought that was insects, but clearly it's not, or they'd be panicking. Shit, we better put out these fires. Roland, get down here and help. James. I was hoping it wouldn't spread up this way, that it'd light up down here. I don't know why I had any hope of that, realistically. I should know that it's gonna not do that. Roland, you got this. You're good. You got it all taken care of. Everything's fine. Thanks for coming. Goodbye. All right. Kiori is no longer incapable of walking. Kazuki is still 4 and still not putting clothes on. All right, fine. All right, fine. Kiori can now wander around like the toddler she is. That's Colin's 9-year-old birthday and James' 35-year-old birthday. What is with the colonists having double birthdays all the time? Goddamn. All right, well, we'll have to see if anything comes of that, if it causes issues or not. Oh, a whole new swarm of chicks. Oh, look at them all go. Oh my gosh. Well, we're drowning in meat now. I took jerky off the menu. I do notice that we don't have that many fine meals, though. Might want to get... we might want to get a... No, not an ancient vampire crypt. A second stove in here at some point. Although maybe we'll have a second cook and they'll have a stove in their house or something. Yeah, we'll worry about that in the future. For now, we're going to try and keep it going with just one stove, even though it's really questionable. Also, this place is filthy, which is kind of bad, too. Yeah, if we can just get... We just need meals to be done, like, all the time. I mean, we could do this. Make sure she's not doing any of those other things. And then she will always cook before doing anything else. Why don't you guys brew if we ever get brewing going? Well, anyway, I think we'll leave this one here. Until next time.